We're going to look here at a couple of income tax examples. Now, this is a type of question which comes up at GCSE level mathematics and lower, comes up in Key Stage 3 as well. And it's actually very, very easy if you use what's called the bar method for this. So we're going to look at the first question. It says, Jack has a tax-free allowance of 12,500. Tax-free allowance, first of all, means you earn a certain amount of money which you don't pay tax on. Now, that's normally a sort of standard amount for everybody, but there are certain people then that will get a bigger tax-free allowance than other people. So certain medical conditions that people may have or whatever. So, but tax-free allowance in this example is 12,500, so he pays no tax. He then pays 20% tax on anything he earns after that. He earns £19,400 a year. Calculate how much tax he has to pay every year. So the bar method, very simple. There's only two sections in this one. This first bit is his tax-free. So we just put in what that amount is. And then the next bit is how we work out this bit is his total, which was 19,400 minus his tax-free. Okay, so we're going to do that, just doing out my calculator, 19,400 minus 12,500, and that gives me £6,900. Now let's just put in the percentage tax he has to pay, 0% on this, 20% on this, and then underneath we're going to put down his tax. One more thing I should have said, the total amount should add up to his total salary, which in this case was 19,400. So first of all, we're doing this, we're doing 0% of 12,000, 0% of anything, hopefully we all know is just going to be 0. Next thing, that was a 20%, 20%, and how we can do 20%, remember, is 0.2, you can even say 0.20 if you want, 0.20 times 6,900, so 0.20 times 6,900, and that works out to be 1,380 pounds. Okay, so his total tax in this case, there's only one thing, it is 0 plus 1,380, sorry, and that is it. Okay, so that's as easy a one as you can get when there's only two sections. Next one's a little bit trickier. We've got Henry. Henry has a salary of £32,680 per year. His personal allowance free of tax is £6,000. Income tax rates are shown below. So this is after your taxable. So 0 to 3,000 is you're taxed at 12% in this situation. And what this means, and this really confuses people this bit, but that just means really anything above this amount. Okay, so it's not really that there's a pound or 99 pence in there doesn't get taxed or whatever. It basically just means that's just a sort of standard way of writing it, but just means that anything above 3,000 up to 40,000 is 25%. He earns 32,000, so he's definitely going to be in this category. So it says calculate the total amount of income tax payable by Henry. And it also says, that's the first bit. Next bit says the income tax is deducted monthly in equal amounts from Henry's salary, then how much of his monthly salary is left after income tax is deducted. Okay, right. Let's do our bar. We're going to have our 0%, which is his tax-free amount. After that, then there was 12% tax, and then after that there was 25% tax. And his total amount needs to add up to be his salary, which is 32,680. Okay, first of all, out of that is, highlighted wrong bit, out of this, he has got personal tax allowance free of tax is £6,000. Let's just put that in here. The next bit then is the next £3,000 from 0 to £3,000 is 12%. And then the last bit, and this is why this is a wee bit trickier, to get this box, it's going to be your total, which is 32,680 minus the 6,000 minus the 3,000, whatever that's going to be. Just do that on your calculator. It will be a calculator exam for this. Minus 6,000 and minus the 3,000. And that, of course, that works out to be 23,680. We have done the hard bit of the question, getting these things. We just need to do this. 0% of 6,000, which is just going to be £0. 12% of 3,000 we're on to now, so 12% of 3,000, and if you do that, that's 0.12 times 3,000. And I've done that, and it's worked out to be £360. And the last bit, 25% of this, so that's 0.25 times 23680, which works out to be 5,920. And then your total tax, let's answer it, total tax then is, just put the 0 in for good measure, 0 plus 360 plus 5,920. Add those up, and we get, I've just done that on my calculator, I got £6,280. Okay, right, let's read this last sentence again. What does it say? It said the income tax is deducted monthly in equal amounts from Henry's salary. How much of his monthly salary is left after income tax? Okay, right. His monthly salary, his yearly pay was 32,680. So let's do his monthly pay then. It's going to be, obviously there's 12 months a year. So 32,680 divided by 12, which works out to be, it's a nasty wee amount, and that's going to be 2,723, and then 0.33 recurring, so 0.33, just 2 decimal places, that's it. And his monthly tax then, his yearly tax, which was 6,280 divided by 12. And then we can do that 6,280 divided by 12, which works out again to be 523.33, was 0.3 recurring. So again, 2 decimal places. So we'll say, what does it say? How much of his monthly tax salary is left after income tax? So money after tax will be those two things. The tax minus, this monthly pay minus his tax. So if we just do that out again, that's 2,723.33 minus 2,523.33, I should say. And we do that, he is left with a nice number of £2,200. And our last example, if you're still with us, is to calculate the amount of income tax on his earnings. Andrew used the following information. So he's got total earnings of 72,540. His tax-free personal allowance, for whatever reason, is a wee bit less here. It's 10,500. 15% tax on his first £5,000 of taxable income. 30% tax on his income. That's first £4,000, from 4,000 up to 38,000. 45% on anything over 38,000. How much income tax should Andrew have calculated? Okay, as complicated as you're going to get, highly unlikely you're going to get one as just as complicated as this. First of all, his 0%, then he's 15%, then he's 30%, and then his 45%. And remember, these things all need to add up to his total yearly salary, which is 72,540. Lucky him. Okay, so his tax-free allowance was 10,500. I'm just going to do the tax as we go. That was 0. Then the next £4,000 on the next amount. So the next amount was £4,000. 15% of this. 15% of this. We do 0.15 times £4,000, which works out to be 600. The next bit then, so that really is, you're going to do 38,000 minus 4,000, ignoring the 1 there. So that's just going to be 34,000 here. And we're doing 30% of that, so 0.3 times 34,000. And that works out as a pretty big £10,200. And the last bit to get this number, you're doing 72,540, taking away the 10,500, taking away the 4,000, and you're taking away the 34,000. Doing all of those things, 72,540 minus the 10,500 minus the 4,000 minus the 34,000. That works out to be, he has got £24,040, which he's being taxed at 45%. Multiply that by 0.45 and you get £10,818. Okay, what income tax? His total tax then is 0 plus 600 plus 10,200 plus 10,818. And we just add those up on the calculator and see what you get. And when I got that, I got £21,618. So he's earned a lot of money. He's also paid an awful lot of tax. So that's how we do income tax as easily as you can. Just be careful. They can ask these questions all different ways. They could have said in this same question, they could have said, calculate how much Andrew has left after tax every year, in which case you would just do this number away from his total earnings. It could be monthly, how much he's got after tax. Again, you could just do the total minus his total tax and then divide by 12. There's all sorts of different, or his monthly tax could be his total tax and then divided by 12. So all sorts of different ways you need to be able to understand the question. But if you understand the basic bit of this, a very last bit would really just be 1 mark in the question.